retired Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman on the High Court, has died at the age of 93. She served as an associate justice on the Supreme Court from 1981 to 2006 and is survived by her three adult children, Scott, Brian, and Jay. Joining us now, Harvard Law School Emeritus Professor Alan Dershowitz. A big loss when you talk about her impact, maybe not so much on the High Court, but you say on equality as a symbol. Discuss what you think her legacy is today.
Well, her historical legacy will be as the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court far too late in our history. It should have happened 100 years ago, but it didn't. She will not be remembered necessarily for the quality of her opinions. She was very much a political person on the court. She started out very political. In fact, she got into some controversy. I was part of that controversy. I wrote an op-ed against her in the New York Times when she invited Republican operatives to her chambers and suggested that they would get special tours. She was very much an Arizona politician, and Arizona was not known for the quality of its politics back then. But she grew into the job, and she remained very political. Her decisions were better known for the compromises they struck, for the results they produced, than for the quality of the scholarship. But she'll be remembered very, very positively for being the first, just the way Thurgood Marshall will be remembered for being the first African-American on the court. These were long overdue developments, and both of them served with honor and distinction in their special role as being the first in their group. Very different, for example, than Justice Brandeis, who was the first Jew on the Supreme Court and probably one of the two or three greatest justices in the history of the Supreme Court. Neither she nor Thurgood Marshall will get that kind of accolade from historians, but she did her job commendably. She played a very important role in kind of bringing the sides together. She was a very nice person, and she was somebody who got along very well with everybody, and that's an important function on the Supreme Court as well.
Yeah, nicety, right, which often gets lost nowadays in politics and in law. How did she view her role as a woman? What did she say publicly about that, even early on?
Oh, very much. Understood her role as first and understood that she will be looked at. I remember when she got appointed to the Supreme Court, there were still some skeptics who were saying the Supreme Court's a man's institution. Absurd sexism, but there was still a lot of that. And also, when she was appointed, people accused Reagan of going down very deep to appoint the first woman. She was the first person, I think, in history ever appointed from a lower court. She wasn't appointed from the highest court of the state. She was an intermediate court of appeals, and she was appointed not because people said she was the very, very best person able to be appointed to the job, but that she was a very able woman. She was a very close friend of Justice Rehnquist. They were friends back at Stanford when they were law students together, and she maintained a close relationship with Rehnquist when he was Associate Justice and then Chief Justice. She understood her role as the first. She did a lot of public appearances. As I said, there was some controversy over the fact that she kind of, for the first years of her justiceship, she maintained her role as a leading kind of Arizona Republican in politics, but that dissipated over time.
Talk about some of her notable decisions, at least those in which she was the swing and decisive vote.
Well, that was a time when, as your previous guest stated, you couldn't predict the outcome of cases. It was great to argue those days back in the Supreme Court because you could have a big impact in moving a Justice O'Connor from one position to another. You can't do that today. Today, it's no fun to argue in front of the Supreme Court because you know what the outcome is going to be. As soon as the court grants review, you know that the three liberals will go one way, the four conservatives will go the other way, and, generally you also know where the Chief Justice is going to go, although you can't be absolutely sure. So the role of an advocate is less demanding than it used to be back then.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.